Hello everybody. Welcome back. This is NicoleMLouis from NicoleMLouis.com, and I'm the social worker strategy mentor, and I'm here again today with another one of my beautiful clients, Trish, and I'm gonna ask her to introduce herself in a moment. But again, I've asked Trish to share her testimony and her story really about what she's doing on her journey to independence, because I know that there are going to be many of you that can relate to what she's going through and her experiences, and I want you to be able to see that it's possible. I want you to see that it's possible. And so, Trish, welcome. Tell the lovely people.
Yeah, my name's Tricia. I've been a social worker for about 15 years, mostly working in the local authority in the children's service.
Okay.
And some experience with adults, but at the moment I'm working with children.
Okay, lovely. And is that frontline child protection stuff or fostering?
I'd say fostering. It's permanency planning for children in care and family finding.
Okay, so I guess you're doing the placement finding when there's emergencies as well, right?
Yeah, it's mostly looking for children to match them with a long-term placement, or to make sure they're in a permanent foster
stable home. Okay, brilliant. And so you've worked with adults as well. What context with adults?
Yes, that was with a voluntary organization, and mostly care planning for older adults, just when they're not able to do things anymore. So whether that's getting home care in or looking into a care home. Yeah, it's very similar working with their children, but often the roles are reversed. So the children could be 60 years old trying to manage their parents. Okay, great. Thank you. And you've got a wide range of experience. And so what are one of the goals, because we work together in the capacity of you're one of the students for the first cohort of the Social Workers Launch to Freedom course, but you also have been part of the goal planning members only club, where you're looking at one of your goals that we've worked on and getting you closer to that. So do you want to share a little bit about what one of your goals is that you were working on? Yes. So the first month that we did the goal planning, the seminar plus just filling out the book, I focused on two goals. One was just around my health, losing weight, becoming healthy, and also to look for another job. My ultimate goal is to become independent, but I was working with adults, so I knew that most of my experiences with children, and that's where my passion lies. So I want to get more experience with children again before going independent.
Okay, brilliant. So great. So very strategic in what you're doing. That's lovely. I can't quite remember how we became connected or where you found me or anything, but prior to joining the Launchers community and certainly enrolling, I guess my question is, what were the difficulties that you were experiencing or the frustrations you were experiencing before finding?
Yeah, to be honest, I think I don't know if it was on Facebook. I can't remember how I came across you. Probably just having mutual social work friends, and I think someone must have posted your Launch to Freedom course.
Okay.
And it sounded very interesting to me, because I think at the time I was very frustrated with where I was at with social work, local authority. Even though I was working in a voluntary setting, I just felt very constrained and wanting to do something more. And I've always thought about independence, but I guess been a bit afraid. So the course to me was, I thought, this sounds really good. And so there obviously was a cost to it, but I just bit the bullet, did it. And in the end, it was very much well worth the money and more. It was not a lot of money for what you provided.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. Thank you. Because I've never asked that before, so that's the helpful feedback, actually. Okay, so you said that you had thought about independence before, and I think a lot of social workers, or some that I've spoken to, have been like, some haven't even known what independence is, or even known that it was a thing. And I guess the majority that I have spoken to would say, well, I haven't got a clue where to start. I've thought about it, but I don't even know what that looks like, where I would go. Was that your situation, or did you have an idea about how you were going to get there?
Well, I think what happened was I spent some time in Uganda, which we can talk about. When I came back, I needed a job, and a friend had told me of an agency where you can do independent assessments, so special guardianship and kinship care. And I have experience in that. So I
did that as a self-employed status.
Okay.
But it was for an agency, so that was kind of my understanding of what independent social workers do, is like assessments and more assessments. And although it was nice to have that freedom, I didn't just want to be doing assessments. And so the course really opened my eyes to see going independent doesn't mean you have to do this traditional local authority work or assessments. You could do so much more.
Brilliant, good. I'm glad. That's one of the key things that I try to open people's eyes with and show them the possibilities. So that's lovely to hear. So let's talk a little bit about what did you discover and learn about yourself and about where you were at in terms of your journey to independence from doing the course.
I think what I learned is that there's a lot that just personally holds me back, whether that's lack of confidence or just the ability to go out on my own. It's quite scary, and I think even still now it seems scary, but the course really helped me, I guess, practically with each step of the way. So that gave me a lot of confidence, just knowing that, okay, Nicole's been through this and this is what she's done, and it gets to the nitty-gritty of things, not just, I guess if you go to a coach, sometimes which coaching is very good, but it's different. It's not kind of just airy-fairy. Not that coaching is.
I know what you mean.
I hope I'm not criticizing any coaches out there.
I think I understand what you mean. I guess what I'm hearing is that there's something about the realization of doing the course that you've paid money for. You want to make sure you're doing the work. And in doing the work, it gets real. The rubber hits the road, really, in that sense, doesn't it? And you're not just talking about it. It's not play. It's not a dream. It's something that's turned into a real reality because you're making it happen. I've always spoken about imposter syndrome. Imposter tells you, you can't do this. And it does make you scared and make you think, I don't want to do this. And there can be a fear of success. There can be a fear of failure. And you can sabotage things by procrastinating and by saying, oh no, this isn't possible, so let me leave it alone, or whatever the case may be. There's so many different ways that one can sabotage. So I'm hearing what you're saying, that there's something about it being very concrete and becoming very real, which can be scary. And that's why I have a whole community support, so that people are not alone. And I encourage you in the course to connect with the other students and stuff like that reason, because it can be scary, but you're not alone, because you have the social workers mentor, strategy mentor, me, and you have the community, the launchers community. So you're never alone. But I know that from day to day, it can feel alone, because the fact is you've got to put in the real work, right? So, okay, so that's what you learned, and that was that experience. And I know that at the moment you're still on your journey, as you said, you haven't arrived there, your goal, and that's fine, because I think one of the things that I always say is we've got to make it realistic. Your launch date for your independent business has got to be realistic here. If you're thinking about doing it in 2 months, but you're still at ground zero, that's unrealistic. Even 6 months, depending on the context of what's going on in your life, let's make it longer and extend it. And I think that was one of the exercises that we did together, and extending, making sure that it was realistic. So that's really important. So you've done all the modules and you've got a really solid action plan of all the actions that you need to do. Well, first of all, let's think about from the actions and all the things that you've got and that you've looked at. With support, do you feel it's something that is realistically achievable for you?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think I still have a lot of work going forward, but I can see it happening. Before, it maybe just felt it was just a dream kind of thing, and I can kind of see that how it could practically happen.
Good, brilliant. Okay, so let's fast forward, because you were part of the members only goal planning club, and you looked at your goals. Like you said, you were looking at your weight, but you were looking at changing job. And I think that came out of the first 3 modules that we were looking at, or one of the first modules in the course, where we looked specifically at what's going on for you, where are you at in life, and what things do you need to change and get in order to make it possible and prepare you to embark on your journey. And so that was a big thing, because changing job is a huge thing. It's not something that happens like that. It could take weeks, months. It has to be the right job to allow you something like this. So it's brilliant that you've been able to do that, and you've taken action is the main thing, which is amazing. And so you're continuing to implement whatever you've learned. And as you said, one of your goals is to become independent. So tell me a little bit about why you joined the Members Only Goal Planning Club.
Yeah, I think I joined because it had been, I'd say, at least 6 months probably since I had finished the course. And I think at the time, life gets to you. So even though I had all these high hopes of becoming independent, I didn't really actively work on my goals. And then COVID happened. And a part of me was thinking, okay, this is not a good time to become independent. Okay. And just the fear of oh, I'm glad I have a full-time job. And what if I was independent and didn't get work coming in? Not to say that isn't what would happen. And then I think you had put something on Facebook or email about this goal planning. And I thought, I need to do this because I need to. It just for me was this kind of catalyst to I need to get back to doing something. And I think even, had mentioned, even though it's a pandemic, that doesn't mean you need to freak out or not go independent. And it's actually even a better time because everyone's going online with things now, so we can do a lot more than probably before. So
absolutely And I guess that's one of the things that even in the course we look at in terms of diversity of income streams within the area that you want to do social work, and breaking the mold of the way we do social work. Because I think right at the beginning of our conversation you said you don't want to be doing just assessments as an independent, and that's what generally independent social workers do. Well, most of them, not me. And so this is what I teach exactly on the course, the variety of things that you're able to do and different types of services and stuff like that. And so absolutely, this is an opportunity to capitalize. I mean, I'm independent and it hasn't stopped me getting work at all, including my offline work. So there's definitely opportunities, whatever is going on, and that's how you build your business. But I guess the important thing that you've said is that you wanted to get back on track really and look at your goal, get back on place with it. So talk a little bit about the sessions that we had. It was a month long, and I think we ended up doing 3 or 4 sessions because I changed it a bit to make sure it was fitting the need of the group. And I think we ended up with 4 sessions that we did together in mentoring, and we looked at the goal planner, going into detail with how to use it and stuff like that. And some of you got the Get Organized system as well. So tell me a little bit about how you found the goal planner. I know you said you wanted to get back in terms of getting on track with your goal, but you could have just done a consultation with me to do that. What made you join the whole package, if you like?
Yeah, I guess I've had kind of diaries, calendars to schedule things, but not to the degree that the goal planner did. Sorry, what was the question?
So the question was, why did you go for the package as opposed to just a consultation, a one-off consultation? Because the package came with the diary, it came with the mentoring, it came with the other stuff, and I think I've rebranded it as Accelerate Now for people that are on the replay of this interview. But what was it about the package that spoke to you more than just a one-off consultation?
Yeah, I think just because it was specifically around planning goals, and I think instead of just getting a planner, it's so much more. So with your session and your system, not that it's complicated, but people needed you to explain how to use it and how it's going to accomplish goals. We looked at, I'm just looking at it, reaching our goals, the hurdles, the steps, and then what might be the hurdles, and then the solutions. So it looks at what gets in the way. And I think oftentimes I might have goals in my mind or even write them out, but I never let it happen. I wasn't focused enough. And I found the goal planner, the way it's set out, it really helped me to really see what am I spending my time on, and what am I wasting my time on, and could be used elsewhere, kind of thing.
Because I think that there's a gulf between knowing what you want to do, and even if you've got an idea of how you're going to get there to where you are now, and actually taking the steps towards it, because it's a very systematic thing, isn't it? And like you said, life got in the way, and I know you were very engaged on the course. You were very motivated. You completed all the sessions on time and all the modules and all the lessons, and took it down, and you had a consultation with me during that time also.
And again, you were very clear, but life got in the way. And then 6 months down the line, you hadn't got as far as you'd intended or expected, notwithstanding the fact that there was a pandemic. Who knew that was going to happen? But that could have been anything. This year it was a pandemic. Yeah. It could have been, God forbid, a bereavement. It could have been pregnancy. It could have been a marriage. It could have been anything else, a change of job, redundancy, whatever, because that's what happens. Life happens. And so there's something about, as you said, the planner, the way it was designed for you to have the idea and create what needs to happen with the idea and then getting it done to seeing it realized. So that's brilliant. Okay, you spoke about me explaining what was going on and how you needed to use it. There are some other elements of the mentoring in the month-long session that we had as a group. What else did you find useful about it in terms of turning up for the sessions and stuff like that? Was there anything else about the sessions that you found helpful? Because obviously during the sessions we were going through how you needed to use the planner, but in other sessions they were very practical and stuff like that. What else? Was there anything else that you'd say about the sessions that would be helpful for others to know?
Yeah, I think just even having other people doing it at the same time as you, the accountability, it wasn't like anything scary. It was just nice to hear other people's point of view, or if they had questions for clarification, and I guess just the encouragement from you during the sessions.
Okay, brilliant. And I guess there were lots of opportunities to ask questions as well on your individual goal and stuff like that. So I wanted to make sure that was incorporated. Brilliant.
Definitely.
And so I guess in light of that, we're thinking about all of those things and the Accelerate Now package and the course, would you recommend them and why?
Definitely. To be honest, everything you do is beneficial. It's just choosing what I guess is helpful for each individual
at the stage of their life. Yeah,
I've ordered my new goal planner for the next 3 months. Like, I can't speak highly enough with the course. I know you've changed it now.
Still Social Workers Launch to Freedom.
Okay, there still is, yes. So yeah, it's just very detailed and very practical. I had a bit of understanding of doing assessments independently and limited companies or being a sole trader, but even for someone who has no clue, has no knowledge, you go step by step. And yeah, I would recommend it for anyone who is even maybe just thinking, okay, maybe I'll do it, because I think it will help you decide, is this something for me or not?
Okay, brilliant. Thank you so much. Well, ladies and gents, friends, you've heard it from Trish. She is still on her journey. She's still going strong. She knows where to get help and knows how to dip in and out of support when she needs it. And she's using the goal plan and journal to really help her on her journey. And she was an amazing student. And even on the goal planning club, she was very engaged and doing really well. So I'm super excited about her journey and where she's going to be even this time next year. And I'm super excited about your journey. So I hope this has been encouraging for you. And I just encourage you to get started. Today is the day where you can get started. There's no better time than right now, today. Speak to you soon.